With the introduction of the SIG Sauer's next generation squad weapons, the Army will attempt to introduce a new suite of small guns and associated accessories for the first time in 6 decades. This comprises, among other things, a rifle and a light machine gun with new 6.88 ammunition, as well as a fire control system. In today's video, we will go through the SIG Sauer MCX SPEAR 277 Fury. Before we get into the video, kindly note that the information provided in this video is for educational purposes only. Without further ado, let's dive in. The SIG Sauer MCX SPEAR 277 caliber semi-automatic rifle is designed around 2 lightweight alloy receivers and measures 866.14 millimeters or 31.4 inches in overall length and weighs 3.8 kilograms or 8.4 pounds when empty. The SIG Sauer has the same control as any other AR-15 model, with the addition of the second charging handle on the left side and a full-length top MIL STD 1913 Picatinny rail for optics and a lightweight aluminum M-LOK handguard for accessories. The Army announced on April 19th that the SIG XM5 rifle will replace the M4 M4A1 carbine, and that the belt-fed XM250, also known as an automatic rifle or a light machine gun, would replace the M249 squad automatic weapons within close combat units. In 1965, the service accepted its initial iteration of the 5.56 by 45mm M16, a design that eventually gave birth to the present M4 and M4A1 carbines. Both of the new SIG guns are chambered in 6.8 by 51mm, a change between the M4 NATO's standard 5.56 by 45mm round and the larger, more powerful 7.62 by 51mm round used by the service's new squad designated marksman rifle and other weapons. The rounds have a hybrid metallic casing that helps them to be lighter. After observing the smaller rounds limits during the global war on terror, switching to 6.8mm ammunition should provide increased range and power over the current 5.56mm round without the bulk of the 7.62mm. With the deployment of the M855A1 enhanced performance round, the performance of the 5.56mm cartridge has been maximized. Soldiers have given the M855A1, which was initially issued in 2010, great praise. The Army can greatly boost the performance capability of ammo with the new weapon's greater operating pressure and size. These advancements enable squad-level soldiers to deliver improved target defeat at higher energy to advance adversaries across longer distances. Following a 27-month examination of 3 competing weapon systems, a 10-year, $20.4 million initial manufacturing contract was announced on April 19th. More than 500 soldiers, Marines, and special operators tested the NGSW rifles and machine guns for 20,000 hours. The initial contract involves around 40 weapons in all, with 25 XM5s and 15 XM250s being used to develop the SIG Sauer's production line. It also purchases enough ammunition to allow the Army and SIG Sauer to develop and field the rifle in adequate quantities. According to the Army, the deal has a $4.7 billion cap, allowing for the acquisition of up to 250,000 rifles for the Army, other U.S. military service, and future international military sales customers. The Army intends to purchase a mix of 107,000 M5s and 13,000 M250s. The first unit will be equipped in the fall of 2024, with operational testing starting early in 2024. As ammunition manufacturing ramps up, the weapons will be distributed to close combat forces in both the active component and the National Guard. The NGSW will be carried by infantry, cavalry scouts, combat engineers, combat medics, and forward observers under the present fielding plan. Outside the close combat force, the Army will continue to use the M4, M249, and the M240B medium machine guns. Both weapons are based on SIG's successful MCX line, which is a piston-operated variant of the AR-15 M16 family, which is already used by the military. A long variant of the MCX was recently utilized at the Best Ranger competition in Fort Benning, Georgia, with a new version of Knight's Armament M110 semi-automatic sniper rifle. The weapons have an X designation because they are technically experimental and have not yet been fielded, but they will be known as the M5 and the M250, like their predecessors. Unloaded M5 rifles weigh around 2 pounds more than empty M4 rifles, a significant increase from 6.4 pounds empty, although the automatic M250 will weigh less than the M249 without ammunition. The XM5 has a 13-inch barrel, which is about 1.5 inches shorter than the M4, and an overall length of 34 inches with the stock extended. The XM5 and the XM250 will both be equipped with the XM157 fire control optic unit, a ruggedized advanced fire control system that improves accuracy and lethality for close combat forces. The XM157 features a Vario magnification optic, back-etched reticle, laser rangefinder, ballistic calculator, atmospheric sensor suite, and a compass, among other advanced features. The Army chose the SIG Sauer rifles because they are possibly the most conventional in competition. It also provides a firm and clear lead in providing standard issue small guns to the Army. In 2017, the M17 and the M18 modular handgun system pistols, which are customized versions of the SIG P320, began replacing the M9, a BERETTA 92 derivative, and other handguns. The US Special Operations Command also purchased a small number of conversion kits from the Swiss gun manufacturer to convert existing M4A1 carbines into new MCX Rattler PDWs. For the NGSW contract, SIG defeated the LONESTAR Future Weapons RM277 bullpup rifle, which was originally entered in the competition by General Dynamics Ordnance and Tactical Systems. The NGSW technology, a technology demonstrator supplied by Textron's AAI subsidiary, was dropped from the competition after failing to meet the success criterion during the initial testing. The acceptance of new ammunition, whose only condition is that it weighs less per round than 7.62mm rounds, is perhaps as crucial as the gun itself. 6.8mm is not intended to take the place of a 7.62mm or 5.56mm as NATO standard ammunition. Each participant submitted ammunition designed specifically for their weapon, but it had to be 6.8mm and weigh less than 7.62 grams. That effectively reduced the chances of the Army selecting a rifle from one competitor and a light machine gun from another, though it is still a possibility. The 277 Fury is SIG's hybrid metallic case, which combines a classic brass casing with a steel base. It will be sold to civilians. The MCX SPEAR, a semi-automatic derivative of the XM5, will soon also be offered to civilians. The Army can only now begin collaborating with SIG Sauer to create its 6.8mm rounds in sufficient numbers for fielding, since each NGSW vendor offered ammunition unique to their weapons. Fielding an adequate supply of ammunition in the new caliber will be a big problem, requiring the Army and industry to boost their current production capabilities. The Army has spent decades perfecting its ammunition production and procurement process to ensure that supply never runs out. Before launching the NGSW, the Army must manufacture adequate ammunition for both combat and training purposes, which will necessitate SIG Sauer and the Lake City Ammunitions plant in Missouri to ramp up manufacturing of the new 6.8mm cartridge. During the NGSW program, that facility produced ammo for all three competitors. While a dedicated 6.8 manufacturing line is built in a new building, some existing equipment will be upgraded to increase output of the round. The new plant in Lake City should start producing ammo in the fiscal year 2025 or 2026, but until then, production elsewhere will suffice to field the NGSW. At the moment, there are no plans for the Army to launch any further new weapons in 6.8mm rather than the regular NATO calibers, but work is underway to convert certain current weapons to the new intermediate round. In an ongoing solicitation, the Army is looking for an M240 6.8mm conversion kit for the M240B and M240L machine guns, both of which are chambered in 7.62mm while maintaining the durability and dependability and operation of the M240 weapon platform. Meanwhile, True Velocity has fired an M134 minigun and other weapons with the TVCM composite case ammunition it created for the GDOST LONESTAR entry. The company claims that changing the barrel of guns like the M240 will allow them to fire 6.8mm ammunition instead of 7.62mm. For an Army that has not significantly changed its regular small weapons in 6 decades, fielding a new squad weapon system with an entirely new caliber of ammunition is a massive job. Critics have already compared the NGSW program to the futuristic XM8, which was designed by Heckler & Koch and abandoned by the Army after years of testing. The SIG Sauer MCX SPEAR semi-automatic rifle in .277 Fury caliber is now only available through select dealers in a limited edition special model with a double-stage trigger and a full coyote tan anodized finish. The MSRP in the United States is $7,999. What should we cover next? Do let us know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to smash that like button and also press the bell icon to get notified about our new videos. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other videos. Until then, stay tuned.